Well, hello there, ladies and gents. I'm Tammy Sipniewski. Thank you so much for popping by my channel. And I can't believe I've not made this video yet, but apparently I haven't. Today, I'm going to walk you through all the different things that I use whenever I'm live streaming. Bear in mind, you don't need half of the stuff I'm about to show you. You could just live stream directly from your phone or your device. And in that instance, if that's just what you're using, the only extra thing that I would recommend that you get is a microphone. Now, it can be a nicer microphone or something that's inexpensive, like a lavalier microphone. You can pick one up on Amazon for 12 bucks. But being that I've already invested in all of this stuff, I'm going to walk you through it. And let me start off with my camera. I use a Canon M50. Now, when I'm live streaming, the camera is significantly closer to me, so I need a wider angle of view. So I have on my camera a Sigma 16mm. Now, because the camera is so very close and I am a little vain, sometimes I'll put on the lens a little diffuser, and that just kind of, helps to soften the lines and makes me look a little younger. I don't always have it on there, but if I can remember to put it on, it's going on. And something that is a huge must-have if you're live streaming with a camera is a dummy battery that plugs directly into the wall, because you don't want your battery to die halfway through your live stream. This way, you just plug it in and you can run your camera for as long as you like. And of course, you're going to need some way to stabilize the camera. I have the Wally desk mount. It's typically for monitors, but I've rigged it so that I can attach my camera. It has a sliding arm, so I can use the camera for live streaming, and I could put the arm all the way up and flip the camera down if I want an overhead camera shot. I live stream right from this very desk, which is pushed up against my wall. So of course, your key light has to be in front of you. So I'm using a flat panel light by Godox. It's really nice. It has a remote control. I can turn it on and off right from the remote, adjust the brightness if I want, and I can also adjust the color temperature. I use a Windows laptop to do all of my live streaming. I have an HP. Now, to get your camera into your laptop, there's a couple of different things that you need. One, you can use OBS Studio, but if you wanted to use just your Canon camera and you don't want to use OBS, you can use the Canon software. I don't use the Canon software, so what I use is a device called a capture card, and this one is made by Elgato, and the device is called a Camlink. It's capable of 4K video, but I never use 4K whenever I'm live streaming. I just do HD, which is 1080. Now, the Camlink is going to run into my Canon M50 through a mini HDMI port, and if all of that is going to wind up coming out in a USB cable. There's a lot of different USB things that I need to do my live stream, and I only have one USB port on my laptop, so what I have to do is get a USB splitter, and I have a really good one by a company called Anchor, and this allows me to run 3 USB devices into this one thing so that I can just plug it into my one open USB port. The thing that I really appreciate about Anchor is they make such a great product, but they don't charge an arm and a leg for it. Now, originally when I did purchase the Elgato Camlink, it was one of a kind. You had to pay like $100 for it, but since then, there's been a lot of different companies that have come up with their own, and I did get another one. This one is very inexpensive. It's like 25 bucks on Amazon, and I think it works just as well as the Elgato. So you don't always have to get like the top of the line, the most expensive thing, because you know what, when it comes to live streaming, sometimes it's hit or miss. Sometimes the video, even though you have it in HD, it's still not going to look that good depending on your internet connection. When I'm doing these kinds of videos, I just use the Deity VMic D3 Pro because it plugs right into my camera, easy peasy, no syncing in post. But when I live stream, I like to use the Rode Pod mic. This is a dynamic microphone, so it's just going to capture my voice and it's going to cut out any noise that's going on in the background, washing machines, televisions, cats crying. It does need 48 volts of phantom power, so the audio interface that I run it into is the Takstar. I have done a separate review video on this Takstar, but the good news is Takstar reached out to me and they want to give 2 of these away. And this little thing is so great. It has built-in sound effects. You don't have to plug it into the wall. It has a built-in battery that's going to last you 8 hours. And if you're plugging it into a device like I am, it's going to automatically be charging while you use it. If you would like an opportunity to try to win them, of course, you have to be subscribed to my channel. And in the comments section below, I would like you to write Merry Christmas and may God bless you. And I'll choose 2 of you at random. Or if you're Jewish, you can write Happy Hanukkah. And if you're some other religion, you can write whatever it is that's just relating to the blessings of the season. I'm going there. And part of having good audio means making sure you don't have plosives, so you do need some kind of pop filter. Right now I have on one of these screen pop filters, or you can have one of these foam pop filters as well. And I do have a scissor arm attached to my desk that I can move the microphone around, and it's one of those that don't have springs, or the springs are internal so that you don't hear it squeaking every single time you move the microphone. And having this scissor arm is just super convenient because the microphone is always just there, kind of pushed out of the way, and the moment that I need it, it's already all set up. I just swing it towards me. And when you're live, you should always be monitoring your audio just in case somehow the audio drops. You're going to hear it right away. You don't have to, wait 10 minutes and all of a sudden you glance over at your comment section and you finally see a message saying, "We can't hear you." And the headphones that I use are Audio Technicas, but you don't need something this expensive. Just a set of earbuds will suffice. So when it comes to all the different components that I need for live streaming, like the capture card, the anchor, all the different cables, I keep all of that in one bin, and I keep everything tied together that's associated with one single thing because it's just so much easier when you're organized. You don't have to go fishing for cables because I have 50 million cables in the desk. When I have everything that I need for live streaming in this one bin, it makes it so nice and easy. Instead of using the regular Velcro cable ties, I have these that I got from my friend Chris from Paltatech. They're rubber with magnets on them, and they are wonderful. I love these. I use them on everything. Organization is key. And that's basically all the stuff that I need to live stream. There's a few different tips that I want to give you, though. Whenever you're live streaming, it's live. Number one, make sure you do all the checks before you go live. You want to make sure your picture is there. You want to make sure your audio is there. You want to make sure that you have a couple of mods to have your back. They're going to address questions in your comments section. They can block people that are being inappropriate. It's just good to have someone there that has your back. When I make my regular YouTube videos, I never use a teleprompter and I don't use a script. That's because I can edit it in the end. If I've said something that I don't like or I said it wrong, I can just cut it out and fix it. With live streaming, you can't do that. So I recommend before you go live, if you want to stay focused, if you're talking about a specific thing, I recommend that you can write down some bullet points. Because the first couple times that I live streamed, I didn't have a bullet point list, and I like to talk a lot, and sometimes I can veer way off topic. So having that list of bullet points keeps me on topic. It lets me stay focused on the issue at hand. I'll finish talking about that, move on to the next. It's just very helpful. So here's the thing, when you're live, you're live. People can screen record you and capture your video in perpetuity. So you want to make sure that you're very careful with what you say. Of course, you can always erase the video from your archive, but if somebody's recorded you, that's going to be too bad. Make sure that when you're doing live streaming, make sure you don't leave anything in your background that you don't want someone to see. Because people, believe you me, they will pixel peep into your life. They're going to expand the image in your video. They're going to see what you have hanging around your background. One girl got busted. She had like needles and stuff in her background. She got, obviously she was a drug user, poor thing. And she got busted with that. So just make sure if you have anything personal, get it out of your background. Also, don't want to have a wardrobe malfunction. Make sure that your buttons are all buttoned properly, because the last thing you want to have happen is, you go live for an hour and then you realize your top button has been open the whole time and somebody's caught a glimpse of your undergarment. I mean, it's very embarrassing. So just, make sure, take a look in the mirror, make sure everything looks good. You don't want to bat in a cave. You know what I'm saying? Bat in the cave, you know what I mean. Another good tip, if you live with someone, tell that person, okay, listen, I'm going to be live streaming for the next however long. This way they have a heads up. Because one time I was here live streaming, my girlfriend walked into the room and she yelled something. It wasn't inappropriate or, she wasn't yelling at me, but she said something and I turned around, I'm like, I'm live streaming. She's like, oh, I didn't know. But she could have said something that was inappropriate or something that was personal or something, and she just didn't know. So it's a good idea to let everyone in your house know, hey, I'm live streaming. Don't come into my room, dropping F-bombs. Be cool. My final piece of advice, it's not about gear. It's about what you say when you're live. When you're live, you're live. Of course, you can always delete that video if you're unhappy with it. But like I've said before, what if somebody screen captures it? Now they have your video forever. Just be mindful of the things that you're saying. You never want to say something that's hurtful to someone else. If you're going down a certain avenue of topics that you're super emotional about, maybe veer away from them and just don't talk about that issue. If you're the kind of person that doesn't like people see them cry or get super emotional, stay away from those topics. So just be mindful to, try to edit yourself while you're live in the situation. Don't say something that you're really going to regret later. Maybe you don't even realize you're going to regret it later. Maybe 20 years from now, you're going to be running for public office somewhere, and someone's going to pull out a little video of you dropping a profanity or saying something that's really not that nice. Just be mindful of yourself that this is the internet, and what you say, it's not written in pencil and you can erase it. It's forever. Someone will always find that. So just please be careful. Well, that's going to do it here for me today. I thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, wear your sunblock.